Welcome back to the Rams Active channel. I am, as always, your host, Rune, and welcome back in to the Connected With series. Now, we have another familiar guest of the channel, true friend of mine, a man of many talents here, JT,
How we doing, everybody?
the James Torrillo.
How we doing?
Doing great. Me and JT already did a podcast day, so we're double dipping into the day.
We are.
Make sure you go check out the Dodgers dugout that we both are a part of. That's us. That's us doing our thing. But let's get into the reason why we're here. We are connecting with JT today, and as I look at my very fancy script here of what to go on, we're gonna start out with just tell us a little bit about yourself. What would you say your background is?
Oh, my background. Well, first off, before I get into that, I want to thank you for having me back on the Rams Active channel. It's always a pleasure. I've really enjoyed seeing how quickly your channel's been growing since you restarted. I know your account used to be the Puka Nakua Lover account,
the one and only,
which is how I actually connected. Yeah, no pun intended. Connected with Rune originally. So now, that account got banned for reasons that weren't your fault. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. I got hacked. Yeah. I was just on the receiving end of that, so that's can't do much about that.
You made Rams active. I think it was yesterday. I was like, I wonder how many followers he has. He's probably got a few hundred now. And I realized you had almost 600 followers, which is pretty darn good on Instagram, because it's pretty darn good considering you started this account this year, or like late fall, I want to say
middle of the season. Yep.
Yeah, middle of the football season. You didn't even have a full season, so I think that's pretty cool. So before I went into anything, I did want to say thank you for having me back on the channel. Yeah, and I really appreciate it. But my background info, I'm JT, stands for James Torrillo. That's my full name. We were actually just talking a little bit about my last name. It's Torrillo, not Torrillo. I am Italian. So a lot of people mix that up, the double L. A lot of people mix it up, but that's okay. It's Torrillo. 2 R's, 2 L's. Background info, Rune. I mean, obviously, I'm a pretty big sports guy. If you couldn't tell by my Rams and Dodgers decorations back here. The funny thing is, I know I'm going off topic again here, but funny part is I've done so many podcasts and content episodes, if you will, whatever you want to call it, of me interviewing people. I don't think I've ever been interviewed.
Really?
I think once I was on a radio show back in the spring, and I was interviewed about the Wiffle Ball League. I have the MLWB, as you know. This is the only second time I'm being interviewed, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm James Torrillo, JT, whatever you want to call me. I'm from Hamilton, New Jersey, born and raised here. I was born in 2005. I'm 21 years old. I make Rams content. I make LA sports content. I also make content about the Flyers because they're my favorite hockey team. Makes things a little bit confusing. I'm the creator of JTSN, the sports network that I run. That's my brand on social media. It makes, like I said, it makes it a little bit hard because the Flyers aren't from LA, but the Lakers, Dodgers, and Rams are all from LA. So I can't just do like a sports network that covers all one city, because I don't root for all the teams from one city. So it makes it a little bit harder for me to gain a community or a specific following, but I make it work, and it's fun. So what else is there to me? I normally don't, I'm not used to talking about myself like this. It's kind of funny. I'm used to, like, even when I'm not interviewing people, we're normally talking about athletes. We're talking about the Rams. We're talking about the Dodgers. We're talking about the Flyers, whatever. So it's unusual for me to sit down and be like, oh, this is about me. This is about me. So it's interesting, but I'm looking forward to having a good time on this episode. But yeah, that's my main background info, I would say. I'm sure I'm forgetting some stuff, but yeah, that's pretty much mainly about me.
And he does a very good job. He has a bunch of things. He always goes live on TikTok. Well, he hasn't as much. But if you're a Philadelphia Flyers fan, which I don't know if a lot of you watching are, But he does a thing called Broad Street Banter, covering the Philadelphia Flyers. It is a live TikTok kind of show thing he did pretty much every other day, I would say.
I did it the day. So during Flyers season, I would do it the day after every game so that we had something to talk about. Because what a lot of people do is either, there's a few shows out there that are pretty popular about each team, in sports, whatever, that's daily. I know Locked On Podcast Network, they do it for like almost every professional sports team. They do a show every single day. I'm pretty sure they have a Locked On Flyers podcast. I know there's I can't remember the name of it. I would shout them out. There's another daily Flyers podcast. I think it's just called Philly Flyers. But I would do it every day. You don't always have something to talk about every day. So like, let's say the Flyers play Saturday. On Sunday, you can have Broad Street Banter, recap the game, interact with the live audience in the chat, whatever. If they don't have a game Sunday and you try to do a game Monday and you just talked about the game Saturday the day before, it's kind of hard to do. So that's why I like to do it the day after every game, because I feel like that gives the best content to the audience or the fans, whatever you want to call them. And that means a lot to me. I don't like to just, not accusing anybody of doing this, but I don't like to just spew content out there. I'd rather do quality over quantity. And I think you would agree with me on that. Like you put out really good quality content. You don't just do you don't just find a picture of Matthew Stafford online and go, oh, I love Matthew Stafford. Everyone please like my post and go Rams, follow me. And like you don't do that. You take time to make the graphics, you take time to post highlights or whatever. You take the time to do stuff like this, like the Connected With series that you're doing on YouTube. So like I like to do the quality over quantity. I mean, the only thing that I feel like that debunks my theory is sometimes like on my TikTok accounts, I'll just post like a quick thing just to see if it gets 300 views or 3,000, whatever. But I try to make it better quality rather than just sitting down and posting 10 videos in 10 seconds, So that's also something that's pretty important to me. But I appreciate the kind words about you saying that I do a good job with the content. I believe you do as well. Like I said, your content is growing pretty fast. You're making connections with guys like First and Tuna, who's also great at what he does. You and I have been, how long have we known each other now? About almost a year, right?
I would say it's probably somewhat close to a year.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
It's when you were on our podcast.
Yes, it was when I was with Johan, and I remember you. I think this is funny. I don't know if I've ever told you this story, but this is funny. We're gonna tell the story for the first time. So me and Johan, it's kind of just when we're first starting out and we're getting just things figured out. And I remember, I just remember you reaching out and you're like, "Hey, I have a sports network. Would you guys like to be a part of it? Like, would you like your podcast to be on the sports network?" Mm-hmm. And I looked and you didn't have like a verified thing. You didn't have like anything. No. And it was when you were just starting out. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to lie, JT, we were pretty fishy about it. We were like, I don't know if he's going to want to, if we somehow make money, I don't know if he's going to want a cut of the money. I don't know. But bottom line is we were both kind of just like, I don't know. And I think we told you like, we don't want to put our thing on your network per se, but we would be more than willing to hop on a podcast with you. And I remember we hopped on a podcast with you.
We did.
And it was good. I remember just going after, like talking to Johan after, and I was like, man, JT's a quality guy. I mean, you could just tell. So the first time I hopped on a podcast with you, it was just genuine. It was just guys talking football, and it was just smooth. That's the good thing is when stuff goes smooth, that's how you know it's good. So I've been a JT fan since the first podcast. So
thank you.
Although I'm an OG JT guy, what can I say, man?
Thank you.
But no, we we were pretty skeptical at first, JT, but I mean,
I get that because I probably had less than 50 subscribers on YouTube, and I was like, "Hey, you want to come on? You want to have your podcast on here?" So, but you got to start somewhere, you know. So
yeah, of course,
you got to start somewhere. Yeah,
I'm glad we took that chance because where would we be,
right,
without it? But let's get into this next question here. How long not exact. If you have an exact date, that's perfect. But how long have you been making social media content, just in general?
Ooh, that's a very good question, actually, because I don't have a specific answer. There's different content I've made where I've started at different times. So technically the first content, and this is funny because this goes against everything I just stood for with the quality, is when I started the Wiffle Ball League. That was in 2017. I was 12 years old. That's when I started the Instagram for it. Somewhere, if you guys want to be weird and go find the old MLWB Instagram and look at 12-year-old JT and see the garbage graphics I was making back then in middle school, go for it. It's MLWB.official. Go knock yourself out. I don't think anyone's going to do that, but if you really want to, go ahead. It's funny because, not to pat myself on the back or compliment my own work or anything like that, but I've come a long way. Like if I'm not saying my graphics and my content is the greatest in the world, but if you compare it to what I was doing at the beginning of the MLWB in 2017, I've come a long way. I mean, it has been almost 9 years. So that was September or October. I think October of 2017 is when we started. So that's technically when I started content. But if you really want to get into like quality content, I would say it was like 2020, 2021 for the Wiffle Ball League. If you want to talk LA sports, I started my content with when did I start my LA sports content? So originally, JT Sports Network, JTSN, was called the On Deck Sports Network. And that was in 2024. Started that when I was going to community college here in Jersey at Mercer. And that's when I started my whole podcast passion, if you will. Now that's grown to the Dodger Dugout, Ramblin' Rams with Jordan Bear, Broad Street Banter. And once in a while, we'll record an episode for the Wiffle Ball League for Paint and Corners. That's the podcast for that. But I really have 3 main podcasts. So I've been doing it for a while, technically since 2017. But if you want to really talk just about like, when was the first time I started like LA sports content, like besides the Wiffle Ball stuff, like the sports content for Rams, Dodgers, whatever, it was about 2-3 years ago.
That's a solid amount of time. Just so you've known how the social media world kind of works. I mean, you said what, since 2017? That's 9 years. I mean, you've been doing this stuff for 9 years. I mean, granted, has it been at a high level the whole time? I would. Yeah, he said no immediately. But yeah, we all got to start somewhere. I mean, just comparing my content to just how I started out, like it's just miles better. I mean, for God's sakes, I have my logo. Oh, yeah. This nice logo that JT actually helped me make, by the way. So shout out JT. But I got a logo on a mouse pad. I mean, I wouldn't have, and I'm sitting here with this computer that I only got because I wanted to get more serious about making more genuine content. So it is true. You do have to start somewhere. If anybody's watching this and is interested in making content, I mean, really, truly, I think you can also agree with this. It's not very hard. You look at what people are doing and you're thinking, well, they got to be some sort of like tech wizard. Like, how are they doing that stuff? And I mean, true, you gotta have some sort of level of like being good with technology, but making content's pretty easy. You can, for the longest time, this this is all I used. I mean,
Yeah.
I just loaded up Canva on my phone, made graphics, posted graphics, screen recorded NFL clips off YouTube, what have you, take ripped pictures from the players' Instagrams or even Google. It's just that easy. It's very easy. Anybody watching this, if you need to talk to anybody about making content, you can talk to me. I would assume you could talk to JT as well.
Of course.
But let's get into kind of the follow up to the question I asked you. Just how was there like a moment in time where you were just like, yeah, I want to make content? Like, how did you start? Like, how did you get that light bulb to go off in your head and say, you know what, I want to start doing this?
So I've always had the idea, like for years that I wanted to have, a popular presence on social media. I didn't realize until probably around 2 years ago how serious I was about it. And I wanted to make this like my thing. I have always wanted to work in sports, whether that's sports broadcasting, be a baseball announcer. That's the, if I had to be specific, if I could be a baseball announcer, that would be awesome. But if I'm working in sports, if I'm making content, if I'm a podcaster, I don't care. If my job in the future, or I make a living off of doing what we're doing right now, that would be my dream life. In a realistic, situation, that's what I want to do with my life. I don't need to be making, $50 million like my name's Kyle Tucker. I can make a decent amount, being James Torrillo and making content. And I don't need to be the most popular content creator in the world. I don't need to be, what's her name? The girl on TikTok, Charli D'Amelio. Is that her name? Yes, Charli D'Amelio.
I think so. Right?
Yep. If you don't have to be her, you can just that's another thing. Like I'm not trying to sound like I'm like some genius in this field, but you have to be you and you have to not care. That's what I would say. Like if I had to give like advice to anybody, because the reason I say like I realized I wanted to be serious about this like a year or two ago. Before then, I always wanted to do it, but I was afraid of what other people thought. You have no idea how, and by saying this, of course, I'm not looking for sympathy or anything like that, but the Wiffle Ball League, I've been running since middle school. I've been making content about it. I've been very outgoing about how passionate I am about that for 9 years now. It's been almost a decade. I've been made fun of that for 9 years. How, oh, you're a grown man running a Wiffle Ball League. You're posting about, playing a backyard sport on, social media. You have to not care what people think, because at the end of the day, there's going to be people who enjoy it, and if there wasn't, you wouldn't have any following. So clearly there's a purpose behind it, so that's why at one point I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make a TikTok account, I'm gonna make an Instagram account, I'm gonna make a Twitter, a YouTube, and if people have a problem with that, then they don't have to follow me, they don't have to engage with my content. But there's people out there that do want to see it, clearly, because if there wasn't, I wouldn't have a following, like I said. So I think you just have to, I'm trying to say this in a way that's not arrogant. My whole life I've been very, especially in the last few years, I've been very, very passionate about how you should be humble, and you should be, you should not be self-centered. You should put others first. I still believe in that. That's my motto in life. But sometimes it's okay to want to be you. It's not okay to sit here and say, out loud to everyone, oh, I'm James Torrillo, I'm the best. But you can sit here and say, I don't want to be anybody else but James Torrillo, or you don't want to be anybody else but Colton Rooney, like that's who you should want to be. Even if it's someone you look up to, you can say, oh yeah, I'd like to be like Matthew Stafford, but I don't want to be Matthew Stafford. I want to be Colton Rooney. You have to have your goals set. You know what I mean? I know that was a lot, yeah. But that's my main little pep talk there, I guess, if you will. But yeah.
Yeah, and that's a great motto to live by. I like how you just really don't care about what other people think. That's when I was first starting out, that was something that really kind of just was constantly kind of across my mind. I'm like, well, if people from my school somehow find out, like, I'm never gonna be able to live this down.
Oh yeah, that
And
would be
it's
true.
just it's just to the point where I mean, I'm in high school, I'm about to be a senior. There's almost just like an expectation for, I don't know what, for every reason, everybody just has this expectation to like have a perfect like self image. Like they want to be this person or they want to be this person when they really aren't. And a lot of people that I'm pretty much just surrounded with day by day. And I've got to know kind of this over the years through going to school. It's just people trying to be what they're not. And I don't think I've ever been that way. I've always been just a huge sports fan. Like that's my thing. Some people are into sports, some people are not. There's some people who will passionately run wiffle ball and flag football leagues and will be damn good at it and damn good at posting what they do. And then there's the people that'll act like they're grown up and act like, oh, well, you're a grown man playing wiffle ball. You're having fun, for God's sakes. You're having fun in
Fun?
2026. What's wrong with you? But I think it shouldn't be a hot take. If you're complaining about somebody having fun doing what they like to do, especially if it's something like playing like a backyard sport and having fun off it. Who wouldn't want to watch people playing wiffle ball having fun? Like that's it. That's I don't the word epic's kind of I don't like using the word epic, but that's cool. Flag football. I used to play flag football. I not professionally, but competitively. When I was kind of younger, I like flag football and I would like to watch it because, and it's I like football just as a sport. Like that's my favorite sport if I had to choose. But no, it's just fun. Like watching different leagues, watching people play sports. It's just fun. I mean, what can I say? But just kind of going back, not really caring about what other people have to say is kind of just something you have to do when you're a content creator because it doesn't matter really what you post. Somebody's always just going to be like, oh, well, I don't like this. I think this is stupid. And especially in sports, you'll have people from other fan bases who are just ignorant. And just because you support the Rams, you'll get a Seahawks or 49er fan come in and say, hey, your content sucks. When in reality, your content doesn't suck. Yeah. It's just people just trying to tear you down for literally no reason. So I think that's something that you have. That's a skill you've been able to live with in terms of content creation. Just being able to not really care what other people say about your content because you know the kind of content you post and you post quality stuff. So it's a lot of respect in that sense, just not really caring about what other people have to say. Just looking in the background there, that shows a couple of your favorite sports teams, but I want to hear about all of them. I want to hear about favorite MLB team, NFL, NHL, NBA, college football, college basketball. I want to hear everything. I want to hear your favorite cricket team if I have to. Like, talk about your favorite sports teams for a moment, JT.
All right. So obviously, unless you're listening to this somewhere, I don't even know if this is available on audio anywhere. I think it's just the video that you're going to put on YouTube, correct? So
I'm not that advanced yet. I'll find a way to get on Spotify. I'm not that advanced though.
Okay. Well, if they're watching on YouTube, which they probably are, you can probably tell that I'm a Rams and Dodgers fan with the stuff in the background. I got my fitted Dodgers hat on right now. So obviously, if you couldn't tell, I'm a big Dodgers fan, Rams fan. Basketball, people this is another thing that I could clown for my closest friends, the people that don't know me. Yes, I root for two teams. Yes, I'm weird. Yes, or no, that doesn't make me a fake fan. No, I'm not a bandwagon. I root for the Lakers and I root for the Brooklyn Nets. I think there was one time in my life where they were both good. That's it. 2021, they both made the playoffs. That might be one of the only times in my life that they both made the playoffs. It's either one of them does or neither of them do. So, not a bandwagon. I have a valid reason. We can get into that a little bit if we want. But hockey, Flyers, I I've been a Flyers fan since I was 4 years old. My mom has Facebook memories for me from 2009. I was born in 2005, so that's when I was 4. Watching the Flyers with my dad, with guys like Jeff Carter, Mike Richards, Danny Briere, Claude Giroux, Brian Boucher, a lot of Simon Gagne, Chris Pronger. I go on and on about those early 2010s Flyers teams, but this is a Rams channel, so I'll keep it at that. College football. The reason I'm such a big Blake Corum fan, I'm a Michigan Wolverines fan. He is probably my favorite Wolverine of all time now that he's a Ram. Looking back on
it.
He was one of my favorites. Him, McCarthy, and Denard Robinson. You might not know who that is. Do you not know who that is?
The name sounds familiar.
He was our quarterback when I was a little kid. He was drafted to the NFL as a running back by the Jaguars in 2014, I want to say. He was a quarterback for us, for the Wolverines. And he was drafted by Jacksonville as a running back because he was a mobile quarterback. He was very fast, very, very shifty mobile quarterback. So he didn't really pan out in the NFL, but he was great in college. But so I'm a Michigan fan for football, and for all college sports, I'm a Michigan fan. But I really only follow football closely and basketball a little bit too. I was very happy to see that we won the national championship in basketball this past year. It's funny because people are going to think I'm making this up, but I've been on and off my whole life with college basketball. Like, do I want to follow college basketball? Because I already have 2 favorite NBA teams. Do I need to follow college basketball? Not really. But this year, I was like, you know what? I'm finally going to get into college basketball. I'm a Michigan fan. That's it. And then in my first year, the closest I've ever followed it, they win the national championship, and it makes me look like I'm, a front runner, which of course I'm not. I have a friend who's very into college basketball who goes to Florida. He's a Gators fan. They won the year before. I know you're not a Gators fan.
Boo.
As soon as I said that, I was like, he's gonna boo me. Yeah,
Go Noles.
He's the complete opposite of you. Hates the Seminoles. Hates the Chop. All that. But
well, I hate that.
Yeah, yeah. And what's it called? So I got into college basketball. Became a Michigan fan. I'm a big WWE guy. I don't know if that counts, but
see, I am too.
Really?
I'm going end of the month.
Really?
They're in Baco. I'm going with my grandpa. It's his birthday. We're going. We've gone twice before. We're going. Last time I went, it was televised.
Who's your favorite wrestler of all time?
All time?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, see, when I was like really big into it and I was watching like every pay-per-view, I was tuning into Raw, SmackDown every week. I was a big Roman Reigns guy, and that's kind of just my era. I've always liked him. I liked him when he was the big dog. I liked him when he was the head of the table. I like him now. I would say he's probably my favorite of all time. I would say I don't know if he's my favorite currently. I would say my favorite current guy, CM Punk, just won the. You don't like CM Punk?
I knew you were going to say that too.
Come on, why don't you like CM Punk?
CM Punk is generally a bottom 5 human of all time. I argue with a brick wall. I can't stand CM Punk.
Okay, he kind of can be a tool sometimes.
Kind of.
I will admit. I will admit most of the reason I like him is because of his entrance theme. That song is.
He does have a very
banger.
good entrance theme. Yeah.
It's on my playlist.
Really? That's
I'm all about the entrance. Some people have great entrance themes. I'm just gonna give you a quick little top 10 list. We're gonna go on a WWE rant for you.
I like it.
Of just like my favorite guys. Just guys I like, or guys I used to like, kind of thing. Roman Reigns and CM Punk, I would say, are kind of like 1A, 1B at this point. I like CM Punk because, like I just said, his entrance seems cool, and the return. I almost was gonna watch that pay-per-view that he returned at because I was like, everybody knows he's gonna return, but WWE is keeping it a secret because they kind of have to.
Yeah.
Reigns, Punk. I used to be a big New Day guy. I liked all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Now that's
okay.
It's no longer. I like Randy Orton. Randy Orton's an all-time
guy.
That's
my guy right there. Randy Orton.
I've never, ever, just since I like Seth Rollins. but I have like a love-hate relationship with him.
Well, you're a Roman Reigns fan, so that makes sense.
Yeah. When he's not fighting Roman Reigns, I mean, yeah, I like him. I kind of had I remember one time he was on some sort of like NFL show, and he was throwing shit at Puka Nakua, and I was like, whoa, hey now.
Oh, because he's a Bears fan.
Do that.
Maybe it was during the playoffs.
Yeah.
That would do it. That would do it. Yeah, I would say my favorites are Cena, Orton. I don't know if you're even gonna know this guy. You know Austin Theory?
I do know Austin Theory.
He's my guy. I literally have his action figure over there. I love Austin Theory. He's my guy. I thought he was so funny back in his like Money in the Bank run in 2022. He was awesome. But who else? I love The Miz. I love Brock Lesnar. I know it's a hot take, but
I like Lesnar. I've never been a Miz guy. I thought The Miz is corny. My friend back in the day went to like a house show. Like they just had one in Bakersfield. They always come to Bakersfield. But he went to like a show, and I think The Miz said, "When my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut." Yes, and my friend reciprocated that by saying, "When my hand goes up, Miz's mouth goes shut." And he like yelled it like while he did that, and he was like, "Shut up, kid." This is just a legend. I wasn't there. That's what he was telling me. So
that's funny.
But he's been to a bunch of those. I remember him showing me a set. He has a like one of those like $20 belts you get from Target that's signed by Seth Rollins.
Oh, that's sick.
It was the old IC, the white one.
That's a great belt. That's the Miz's belt right there. He won that a bunch of times.
Who hasn't won that? That's
true. That's true. That's very true.
That's true.
A lot of guys won that. That was passed around quite a lot back in 2019, 2018. So I get your point.
I never got to truly appreciate Cena. That's like the thing. Like I would say he's one of my favorites of all time. I never really watched back then when he was like in his prime, so I never really got to appreciate it.
Right.
I'm a Drew McIntyre guy too. I like Drew McIntyre because when I was truly watching a lot, like COVID era, like that was his run.
Yeah, it was. Yes, he won at WrestleMania. Yeah. And then he lost to Randy Orton that year.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I was really surprised. I remember watching that. I was like,
yeah.
So who? I mean, it's Randy Orton. Come on. We're gonna if we want to move off the WWE. I don't know if my audience is a You either like WWE or you would just think it's the stupidest thing ever.
Exactly.
That's kind of just the consensus. People don't like it because they're like, oh, it's fake. I'm like, so we're not watching it because it's real. It's literally just like a TV show, but it's live.
Exactly. There's no like take two. No, it's
it's live. It just
exactly.
It's cool. If you don't like WWE, give it a watch. Just
it's true.
Do it. Why not? Probably not right now because the product sucks right now. But just watch some old stuff. Just watch some Rock trash talk highlights. Those are
yes, those are great.
Yeah. But moving on, moving on from sports in general for a minute. Besides just making sports content and just being a avid sports enthusiast, what kind of stuff do you like to do outside of that? Like, what hobbies do you like? Do you go outside and touch grass occasionally? Is what I'm asking here.
So the thing is, we were just talking about this before we started recording, and I said I don't know if I do anything that's not related to sports, like anything at all. My podcast, my content, my baseball team, my wiffle ball leagues, it's all sports. Only thing I can think of that's not sports related is my my love for dogs. I'm a big dog person. I have 2 dogs, Holly and Cooper. They're my whole world. I love dogs a lot. So my favorite kind of dogs, golden retrievers and pit bulls, by the way. Love pit bulls. But yeah, that's like the one thing, if I had to highlight, that doesn't have to do with sports. That's something I'm really passionate about.
Yeah, and I remember, I didn't know this till you told me, but your love of pets actually follows you to where you work. You want somewhere you work?
I do work at PetSmart. Yes, I'm a big big dog guy. So yeah, I do work at PetSmart right now.
It's not a bad job. It's not a bad job. You get to deal with pets all day. I wouldn't mind that after. I mean, I wouldn't mind that for a week. After a week, it could get a little a tad bit annoying, but I mean, hey, deal with pets. I'd rather deal with pets than work in fast food. So
sometimes I'd rather deal with the dogs than humans, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they don't complain about stuff they don't know.
No, exactly. It's true.
Just a thought. But yeah, we're gonna get right back into the sports again. I know we went. That was just brief. But I was originally just gonna say favorite Rams players' moments in uniforms, but go over your favorite Rams players' moments in uniforms, and then after that, just go over your favorite of like each of what I said. Like, who are your favorite? Like, who are some of your favorite sports players of all time?
Ooh.
What are your favorite sports moments of all time? What are your favorite sports uniforms of all time? But let's start out with the Rams, since this is a Rams centered channel. But just mention some of that.
Mm-hmm. So here, I'll give you my top 5 favorite Rams of all time. Right. You got Matthew Stafford. I got a lot of basic ones. Matthew Stafford, my favorite quarterback of all time. I know you're not a fan of him. I gotta put Jared Goff in there. He was a big part of changing. He was a big part of changing the trajectory of this franchise. Todd Gurley was part of it too, but who was slinging the ball to Todd Gurley on those wheel routes? Todd Gurley wasn't throwing.
I could sling the ball to Todd Gurley. Come on, you could. You're a quarterback. You're a quarterback. You could do it.
No, not like Jared Goff. He was different.
You could do it. I'm telling you.
Rams Jared Goff was different, man. I love.
Train for like a week. You'll be ready.
No. But obviously, Aaron Donald, greatest Ram of all time. I'm saving my best for last. My other guy in my top 5 has got to be Todd Gurley. Loved him on the Rams. Loved him. And then my number 1 is Cooper Kupp. Named my dog after him. We just talked about my dogs, Holly and Cooper. That's Cooper Kupp. He's probably my favorite athlete of all time. Cooper Kupp, just in any sport, at least tied for first. We can get into that in a second, though. Cooper Kupp winning that Super Bowl, like that was like I was 17 when that happened. So that was like right at the end of my childhood before I became an adult, and that was like the icing on the cake for it. Like that.
It's me right now.
Yeah, that summed up my whole childhood right there. Was Cooper Kupp. My whole childhood, the Rams stunk. The St. Louis Rams were not good. They moved to LA. They have a bad year. Then they get McVay. They get Goff. They get Gurley. They still had Aaron Donald, Michael Brockers. They go get Sammy Watkins. Robert Quinn, Tavon Austin. They had Tyler Higbee, rookie Cooper Kupp. They had a good team. They had a pretty good team that year. They were 11-5, lost in the first round of the Falcons. But then the next year they lose in the Super Bowl. Then the next year they miss the playoffs. Then they get back to the playoffs but lose to the Packers in the second round. And then the next year they win the Super Bowl behind Cooper Kupp. Greatest receiver season of all time, and it's not close. If I could pick any receiver of all time, I'm picking 2021 Cooper Kupp over any year of Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Megatron, anybody. I'm picking 2021 Cooper Kupp over any of them. Career-wise, I'm picking Jerry Rice, as much as I hate to give a 49er his flowers. He's the best receiver of all time. If you're going by one season, 2021 Cooper Kupp is the most talented receiver of all time, and it's not close. So, yeah, Cooper Kupp is definitely number 1 for me. Those are my favorite Rams. If we're going uniforms, I know that's another thing you mentioned. The Rams throwback uniforms with this helmet right here, one of the best uniforms in NFL history. That should be their go-to. I don't know why they don't do it. It's ridiculous. Like this helmet and this like vintage look, so good. Like, could you imagine Matthew Stafford in that uniform?
That'd be Pete, but I'll tell you what. I showed a picture. It was a picture of Cooper Kupp in that uniform you're talking about, and then one of him in a Seahawks uniform. It was like Cooper Kupp through the years, blah blah blah. And I show her, and I show my girlfriend. I'm like, hey, weren't these Rams uniforms so cool to what like compared to what they have now? She's like, I don't know if I like those. I'm like, I looked at her. I almost like looked at her in pure disgust. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Those are some of the greatest uniforms of all time." And I'm like, and then I showed her a picture of Coop in the gradients, and she was like, "Those aren't as bad." She's like, "The ones you showed me before aren't as bad as those, but I don't know if I like those." I'm just like, I don't know how you could say that. I honestly don't know.
That's an ice cold take right there.
That's a freezing cold take.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know about
wow.
that one. But yeah, those are my favorite uniforms of all time. If we're going all sports, my favorite uniform of all time is just the Dodgers classic all white uniforms with the red number. Best uniform. Best. I'm biased, and I will fully admit this before I say what I'm about to say, before everyone just thinks I'm trying to get engagement. The Dodgers home uniforms are the best uniforms in sports history. I will die on that hill. The best ever. The script blue font with the red number just pops off the jersey. It's beautiful. The blue numbers on the back with the blue name, the logo on the sleeve. I hate the ad on the sleeve. I feel like it just, I hate it, but we can ignore that. These hats right here, most iconic logo in sports history right here. If you're a Yankees fan, you're wrong. It's the Dodgers, not the Yankees. This isn't the 1920s anymore. But best uniform in sports history. Dodgers all white home uniform. Change my mind. You can't.
You can't go wrong. It's not about the aesthetic of the jersey. It's just it works. It's perfect. It's timeless. It's classic. You don't have to change much.
Exactly. They better not ever change it.
If they change it, that's gonna ruffle some feathers, man.
Fun fact: in the '90s, the Dodgers almost changed to Dodger purple instead of Dodger blue. Dead serious. They were very close to changing their colors. They pitched the idea, and everyone freaked out because, like, why would you change it to purple? And so they did away with it. They never changed it. They're still blue.
See, purple's my favorite color, but I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's probably one of the biggest things I see in like sports. They'll see like perfectly fine uniforms and like, you know what? Let's tweak them.
Yeah, right.
And they'll just massacre them. You can make the argument that the Rams did that because they 100% did, but I mean, they had a reason to change the uniforms with the whole. They moved into SoFi, so they wanted to match kind of the stadium, and they did that. They didn't do a really good job the first time, but thankfully this offseason, they made the necessary changes, and we're back to having great uniform sets, and we're set to get 2 new alternates soon, which I'm very excited for those.
My bank account is going to be zeros across the board after those come out, bro.
Watch, it's going to come out. We know how much you guys hated the gradient, so you know what? There's the all gradient jersey, gradient numbers,
on the bone,
gradient jersey. Everything.
Whoa, the bone.
And we're going to wear them 5 times a year.
Dude, when they first announced their uniforms in 2020, the bone was just their way. It was awful.
Yeah,
and they didn't come out with the white ones until the next year, the year we won the Super Bowl. So it was the blue with the faded numbers, and then the bone. It was awful.
Yeah, so bad. I would have been pissed. I'm glad I don't really remember when that like came out, because if I had any voice on social media at that point, I would have been raising hell.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They were terrible when they came out with that logo on your or it was a little different. With more coloring, that logo that you have on your shirt right now, that logo when they did the reveal, I remember it was Jared Goff, like this. He walks up, like over here. He walks up, he holds up a box, and it's a hat, a blue hat with that logo on. He goes like that, and I remember yelling, "No!" because I was so mad because that logo got leaked. I was a freshman in high school. That logo got leaked. And I remember one of my friends who was an Eagles fan making fun of me in class that day because it got leaked. And I was like, they're not going to change that. That's hideous. The Ram head logo is iconic. They wouldn't ever do that. And then they came out with it, and it was that exact logo. And I was like, bro, no, they ruined it. And I was so pissed. And that old Rams logo has still not come back, unfortunately. I'm hoping it does one day. Speaking
of Rams, I will die on this hill. This that I'm wearing on my chest here, this should be the alternate. They should make the primary logo the new ram head they came out with.
Oh, 100%.
The one they had originally, a lot of people didn't really like it that much. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it. But the new one they came out with, it's nice. It's nice. I will say that it's nice, and I think it should be the primary because we're the Rams. This says LA. We're not the Los Angeles LAs. We're the Los Angeles Rams.
Exactly.
You don't see the Eagles making their logo something that says Philly.
Right.
Stupid. You don't see the Browns making their logo the color brown. I mean, theirs is just their helmet, which is kind of stupid in its own right. But my point I'm trying to make is that this should be the alternate. It's a textbook alternate logo. This just looks like it would be an alternate logo. The other one should be the primary logo, and I will stand by that. I wish I could get a polo with that logo. I would rock it literally all the time. But
I'm fine with having a logo that says LA because the Dodgers have an LA logo and the Rams should match. They should both have an LA logo. But the Dodgers also have this logo that says Dodgers because they're the Dodgers. So that means the Rams should have a logo that is a Ram because they're the Rams. So, which they have both, but they should switch which one they use more. Like that logo that you have on should be the alternate, or the secondary logo. I would also love for them, and this leads you to a question I have for you, but this helmet right here, this beautiful thing, or the same helmet as up here, if they could put that in the middle of the field and bring the throwbacks back as one of their alternates, oh my gosh, dude. But going into my question.
The bank account would never forgive me.
Oh, no.
I would literally buy any piece of merchandise in stock. Jerseys, I'm buying all of them. I'll buy 2 Myles Garrett ones. I'll give one to my brother who's a Browns fan.
They can make toilet paper with this logo on it and I'd buy it. I don't care.
Okay, maybe not toilet paper.
All right, you get my point.
Napkins for food, maybe.
Sure. A mouse pad.
Toilet paper. I don't think I'm doing that to the Rams logo.
That's true. That's fair. That's a good point. But
49er toilet paper though.
That's true.
But you mean like this mouse pad here?
Yes, that thing right there. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. But what do you think they're going to do with the alternates?
You know what? Of course, I really haven't heard anything because we're not supposed to hear anything, and they do a good job at not getting their stuff leaked, which is really good. Sometimes you see sports logos entirely get leaked, like that Titans logo that got leaked, like I think it was 2 months before they revealed anything. Yeah. So everybody kind of knew that was the new logo, but then the team had to act like nobody's ever seen it before.
Yeah.
Which kind of what happened with this logo. We kind of had an idea that this was going to be it. But it's different because it's still kind of the same logo. It's just colored in. What were we talking about?
What do you think the new alternates are going to look
like? For the alternate. I do believe they're going to go throwbacks. What they're going to do with the throwback, though, I think there's a couple of concepts that have gone around. I think they'll do the yellow throwback-ish kind of thing, where it's yellow block numbers and the stripes aren't like horns. They're kind of like classic stripes, not like the horns you see on every modern Rams uniform now.
The broken one.
And then the other one I think they'll do white fearsome foursome era.
Oh yeah.
Those would be so clean. I would that'd probably be
let me think of a random player. You imagine a Blake Corum fearsome foursome jersey. Give me my money. Give me my money. Yeah. Or take my money. Whatever.
Have you looked into getting your updated Blake Corum 24 jersey yet?
I'm waiting for the new alternates to come out because I'm gonna wait to see which alternate I like more, and I'm gonna get that one with Blake Corum because I have a Blake Corum jersey, but it's the faded numbers with the gradient, and it's number 22. So
see, I'm gonna get all the new uniforms. I'm gonna get all the new jerseys.
Me too.
I'm gonna get all of them. Maybe not immediately. I'll probably get a blue primary and an alternate this year, and then periodically through the year, I'll probably get the other two.
Yeah.
Before we continue, I'm gonna take a quick little break. I gotta hit the bathroom, which happened during our Dodger podcast, and I had to hold it the whole time, and it wasn't fun. So it's gonna be like a second for you guys. I don't even know how long for me, but we'll be right back at you.
All right.
We're back. Told you that was really quick. We're kind of just picking up from where we left off. We were talking alternate uniforms and what we thought was going to be the alternate uniforms. I'm in the camp that I think it will be 2 throwbacks. Hopefully, hopefully they don't experiment and do some dumb stuff with like a alternate, like just copying the palette from what they used and just change colors around a little bit. If they have another bone, I don't know if I'm gonna be very happy. I just hope it's 2 throwbacks. I hope they listen to us. Get the 2 throwbacks. It will make so much money if they do that. And
yeah,
I agree too.
The thing is, I know they're not going to do it because I actually saw. I'll explain in a second. I know they're not going to bring back the throwbacks everyone loves, the blue ones with the yellow horns on the sleeves, the yellow block numbers, the classic Rams throwbacks. They're not going to bring them back. I forget who it was. I think I don't know if it was Kroenke or if it was Les Snead, somebody or someone that has to, someone higher up in the Rams organization was on a podcast. I forget who it was, but
it's probably Demoff.
Maybe, but he was asked, what the new alternates were going to look like, and he basically said or will the Rams ever wear the old throwbacks again? This was like a while ago. And he said they look too similar to the home jerseys, which is kind of fair. So I think they're going to go with a fearsome foursome look because that doesn't look anything like the new jerseys. I think they're going to do a yellow throwback and then a fearsome foursome throwback with the white and the navy. I'm just worried that they're going to do like a modern throwback where it's like the current jerseys, but the old colors with a new cool gradient design. No, we just want the throwbacks. Don't touch them. Don't touch the horns. You shouldn't have touched them in the first place. Just go back to what we had and make everything nice. Could you imagine them playing in the Super Bowl this year in the fearsome foursome uniforms?
Don't even put that thought in my brain. I'm gonna get way too excited.
That's what
I don't think we'd wear. I don't think teams typically wear alternates in the Super Bowl.
Don't care. I
would literally. I would start a GoFundMe. I'd get people from all across the fan base be like, "Hey, wear the fearsome foursome jerseys in the Super Bowl."
Yes, dude. Now,
knock on wood, we make it to the Super Bowl.
We have to make the Super Bowl first, yes. But hypothetically, in a perfect world, the Rams are in the Super Bowl this year. What if they wore the all black?
See, those are rivalry uniforms. So
what if they played the Patriots in the Super Bowl, who they've played in the Super Bowl, which would be their 3rd time? Would that count as a rivalry? What if they play the Chargers?
Chargers ain't a rivalry. Come on.
Well,
come on. That's not a rivalry. They try to force a rivalry so hard. It's Rams house. It's not Bolt house.
We know that. Of course we know that. That's like saying the Padres own the NL West. It's still a rivalry. We don't like them, though.
We've played the Chargers like once in the regular season since we've been in SoFi. Let's wait a minute to call it a rivalry. I wouldn't call it a rivalry.
No, but it would be
their fans try to make a rivalry online because they swear that we would be the better LA team if that's the Los Angeles ifs. That's what I call the
San Diego
ifs. San Diego ifs. Because their quarterback is if man.
Now I like Justin Herbert.
I do too, but they
hot take. 2 hot takes for you. Ready? Justin Herbert, top 5 quarterback in the NFL. And Justin Herbert will win MVP this year.
Okay, top 5? I would kind of agree with that. MVP this year? I don't think so. I don't think he wins MVP this year.
I'm not guaranteeing it, but if I had to pick an MVP, I'd put my money on Justin Herbert.
You wouldn't put your money on, I don't know.
I'd put my money on Matthew Stafford. Besides Matthew Stafford or Jared Goff, my GOATs, I would put it on Justin Herbert. I would. And if anybody would like to debate with me, 5 quarterbacks better than Justin Herbert, comment them down below. Because I don't think you can name 5 better. Try to name 5 better.
Anthony Richards.
You can name 4 better. That's it. You say Anthony Richardson. All right.
Anthony Richards.
All right. Stafford, Allen, Burrow, Mahomes. That's it.
Allen, Stafford, Burrow.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't think you'll get the people. Well, Drake May was second in MVP voting.
Drake May's great.
Right, you are. Drake May's a good quarterback. Drake May played I think the same schedule I played my sophomore year in high school. I think they played Stockdale High School, right? No, they didn't do that. I swear they could have done that.
Justin Herbert, I give credit though, because he played the rest of the season with a broken hand and all 5 of his offensive linemen hurt and out for the year, and he still brought that team to the playoffs. And then they lost in the playoffs, and everyone clowned him. Like, how does that work? That's stupid. You know?
So NFL fans work. They see something. It's not their team, and they just like to make fun of it without knowing really a lot about anything at all. That's just kind of got to deal with that sometimes. We're going to get into question of the day. Now, if you watched my episode with Tuna, you would know that this is going to be something different every single episode. I'm not just going to have the same question every single episode. We got question of the day. Now, question of the day, I think I'm always going to keep Rams related. But if it's not Rams related, it's just going to be sports related in general, just as a whole. But question of the day. I didn't do any pre-prepping in this question of the day. I'm making this one up on the fly.
Ooh, okay.
Who do you think is the most underrated player currently on this Rams roster? And I don't want to hear. Oh, I think. I want something new here, JT. I want you to go away from what everybody else is saying. I want you to give me who you truly think is your most underrated player on this Rams team, in your humble opinion.
Ooh, I can have fun with this.
Be brutally honest. Just do it. Let me hear it, because I'll give you mine at the end of when.
Can I give you 2?
You can give me 2.
Yes.
I'll give you 2. I'll give you 1 for each side of the ball. How about that?
Okay. I have 1 for each side of the ball too.
All right, let's hear it. So, you're underrated players. Let's see it.
First one, Byron Young. Nobody talks about the fact that he had 12 sacks last year, and now he's going to be playing with Myles Garrett, and he's only going to have more. He could have 15 sacks this year, and nobody's talking about it. Everyone's talking about Myles Garrett, Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson, and as they should be. Kobe Turner. Give me Byron Young, who's a beast. We're going to have to pay him soon. That's okay. Give him what he wants. But he is a beast. Oh, this other one is so controversial, but I'll let you give your 2 first. I want to see. You're not going to say this guy, but I'm curious to see if you do.
Oh, you want me to do my 2 first before you do your last one?
Let's hear it.
All right, I'll start. Since you went defensive side of the ball first, I'll do defensive side of the ball for me. That one is going to be a guy who changed his number this year. And it's a guy,
Poona Ford?
It is not Poona Ford, even though he is a very underrated player just in general. Probably the heart and soul of our defensive line next year. That interior defensive line, not the entire thing, just the interior. When he wasn't on the field, you saw instant impact. But going away from that, I think the most underrated player on this defense, a guy I've really seen nobody talking about, it's a guy who changed his number, goes to a school I'm not a big fan of, and that would be number 5, Cameron Kinchins. He's you don't intercept Geno Smith and take it. Well, you do intercept Geno Smith, but you don't take it over 100 yards to the house for 6 for just no reason. And that's, of course, just one highlight, the highlight of his career. But he's just a quality player. And the thing is, you don't see it because he's a captain, because he's not a captain, but he's a damn good leader. He was a damn good leader at Miami in high school. I just read First and Tuna's piece on him. It just has me hyped for this kid. And especially more because he's going from the number 26 to the number 5. I think you're going to see him stand out in this defense this year, especially because the defensive line got so much better when you had the best player in football, Myles Garrett. No, I think Cameron Kinchens is going to have a breakout year. That's my prediction for him. Okay. I think he's the most underrated player on this defense. There's a lot of underrated players on this defense, but I think he's the most underrated. I think he's the most underrated of the underrated. I do not see enough people talking about him at all.
I like it. What's your other one?
My other one. This I would say is probably pretty mainstream just because he's going to be going into a second year. But give me a guy who's been kind of a lot of people have been kind of criticizing him, especially because of that NFC title game in Seattle. But I think the most underrated player on this Rams offense going into next year.
This might be mine.
Kanate Mumpfield.
Oh, okay.
Think about it. Think about it for a second. He gets praise from Davante Adams, future first ballot Hall of Famer Davante Adams. Davante Adams used Kanate Mumpfield as a mini him. Just think about that for a second. Think about Davante Adams just as a player. Think about all he does well. Has some of the best route running in the game's history for a wide receiver. And you get a guy like that who sees so much of him in a young guy like Kanate. I get his rookie season wasn't phenomenal, but I think he's going to be the wide receiver 3 of this team. I really do. Because you look, and it was his rookie year last year. How many people – it is very rare to be a really standout guy your rookie year. The few exceptions, of course, got guys like Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Puka Nacua was a standout his rookie year. But you look at those 3 guys I mentioned, those are 3 top 5 wide receivers in this game right now. And of course, Kanate Mumpfield, he's not even anywhere close to like top 20. But he will be a quality wide receiver 3, I think. I was hyped for the CJ Daniels pick because I originally thought he's going to be the wide receiver 3. But judging that he's a rookie, I don't think CJ Daniels is going to take that step immediately. I think Kanate is the best out of those guys who can compete for wide receiver 3. Because although he's been in the system for less than Whittington, I think Whittington's going into either year 3 or year 4. But I'm really high on Kanate going in. I think he's going to take this first full offseason as a returning player to really train with both Davante and Puka, one of the best wide receiver duos in the game, if not the best. It's an argument for another time. But Kanate, just really underrated. I see him. He's underrated and overhated. I wouldn't say he's hated, but he's definitely been criticized from what I've seen. And I'll admit it. I've criticized him before, but I think he's a damn good player. And I think he's going to show why he's going to be the wide receiver 3 of this team. I don't know how you feel about Kanate. If you want to give some thoughts about Kanate before you go over your last underrated player.
I was going to say someone that plays the same position. Maybe not someone that's underrated, but someone that's overhated.
I think I know where you're going with this. And I think I'm going to agree with it.
Xavier Smith.
Bingo.
He fumbled 1 punt. Did it come at a horrible time? Yes. Did it suck? Yes. He stepped up and did the Tutu Atwell role all year when Tutu Atwell was hurt. Stepped up in the middle of the season, filled the role, did a very good job at that. Even if he was wide receiver 4, did a good job. Ran some good routes throughout the season. Played his role very well. He was a good returner too. It was just 1 muffed punt, and everybody wants the guy off the team. Overhated. If I had to give another guy for most underrated, give me Warren McClendon Jr. Stepped up in Rob Havenstein's role when Rob Havenstein got hurt. He's retired. That's now his starting position. Doesn't get much better than that. He's very overlooked. I would actually say he's the most underrated player on the team.
That's not ridiculous. And people forget that Warren McClendon essentially, Rob Havenstein got essentially benched for He got benched for himself. I don't think you can do that. No, Warren McClendon pretty much sent him to the bench. Hammerstein was healthy going in the playoffs. Just didn't play because Warren McClendon, since he stepped in, was one of the just highest graded offensive linemen. That doesn't happen by mistake, guys.
That's what I'm saying.
But going back to Xavier Smith, I agree with you. Was an awful fumble, of course, like that. You don't do that in situations like that. But how many times did he fumble? How many times did he muff the punt all year? Twice. How many times was the ball given to the other team? Only once. Only one time. It came at literally the worst time possible. Sure. But the Rams did not single-handedly lose that NFC title game because of Xavier Smith. I will say that to the day I die. It is not Xavier Smith's fault that we are runner-ups in the NFC. We still I blame the defense more than I blame Xavier Smith.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
I do. The corners couldn't the corners couldn't guard a bottle of ketchup that entire game. They couldn't do it.
Oh, you're right.
So if you're gonna blame anybody, blame Darius Williams. Blame Kobe Durant. As much as I like Kobe Durant, he wasn't really good in the playoffs at all. I mean, he had 2 picks that Chicago game, but he almost lost us that Chicago game. Like, you can literally go on. And people like to hate on Xavier Smith because he's not a superstar player. He's not this, he's not that. It's easy to look at him for that horrible play and blame him for the entire season.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't blame him for the entire season. He's a good friend of First and Tuna. I'm going to get to talk to him at camp. It's pretty much, I would say, all but guaranteed. I'm going to talk to Xavier Smith. And I'm not just being biased towards Xavier Smith because, I'm going to meet him. No, it was not his fault. It's a horrible play. I'll say for the rest of the time it was a horrible play by him. Of course, everybody can say it was a horrible play. Did it lose us the game? No. Not at all. You could have stopped the Seahawks on defense. You didn't. You could have scored. You didn't. You had chances. You had chances to win the game after that. You didn't capitalize. You lost the game. That's why we lost. We lost. Can you agree with me on that, Lowen?
100%. The play was his fault. The result of the whole game was not. It's just how it works.
Yeah, but I'm glad we agree on that Xavier Smith kind of thing. I think he's very underrated as well. I think a lot of people have forgotten what he did against the 49ers that one year.
That's why I like him. Because that was the first time we beat them in the regular season with our starters in 4 years. So
he kind of broke that curse if you think about it like that.
I know.
But point is, Xavier Smith overhated.
Yes.
Quit the Xavier Smith hate. You can look at that play and say, hey, you're an idiot. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine to call him an idiot for that. Because, I mean, that's kind of an idiot play. But saying we lost the game because of him, I think that's going a little bit too far. I think that's just trying to praise the defense when in reality that defense was the reason we lost.
Absolutely. I agree.
So I'll die on that hill. I will protect Xavier Smith for days, for years, for my life. So that might be a hot take. Those listening who are still against Xavier Smith, I hope you at least listened to what we had to say and are kind of just taking what we have to say into account. But, it's not our job to tell you which players to like. There's people that don't like Puka Nacua. I don't know how that's a thing. I mean, of course, he had legal trouble, but nothing. There's been no conviction. There's been nothing. But point is, people are going to hate things. People are going to like things. That's the thing about sports. It's everybody's different. Everybody likes a different thing all the time. But I think that's all we had on the agenda. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else. Let's this is going to be your time now. You are going to take the floor. You do all the plug you want, JT.
Ooh, all right. I'm JT Sports Network on Instagram and YouTube. JT Dodgers, JT Flyers on TikTok, James Torrillo on TikTok. I got a bunch of accounts. If you look up James Torrillo on anything, you'll find me. That's pretty much all I gotta say. So I post sports content daily. Make sure to check it out. But also, if you're not subscribed here to Rams Active, then you're a silly goose, and you need to do that right now. So yeah, and thank you to Rune for having me on today. I really appreciate it.
Of course, and I've endorsed JT a bunch. Just quality content. What can I say? Just always a pleasure. Yeah. It's what, like 10 o'clock your time?
If my phone will turn up, 10:01 at night. Yep.
Yeah, we better get you out of here. You got to sleep, man.
Yeah, that's the bad thing about being a LA fan on the West Coast. Dodgers are about to go on, but I'm about to go to bed. So, yeah, kind of sucks.
Yeah, but it was good. It was a good episode. We're gonna let you go to sleep. You're probably getting ready for bed here in a minute, I would assume.
Yeah, it's bedtime.
Yeah,
it's sleepy time for me.
Yeah, it was good stuff. We'll see you in the next one.
See ya, everybody.